The routines and the checklists are not the master. We are using them. We are the master, using those tools to accomplish the big picture, to create value in the world. And when we step into that bigger picture and all the pieces and parts get put in their proper place, then I think we will feel less tossed to and fro. Hi, I'm Mystie Winckler, homemaker, homeschool mom of 5, grandma of 1 so far, and author of the book, Simplified Organization, Learn to Love What Must Be Done. I'm also hostess here at Simply Convivial, and convivial means enjoying life together, which is the hospitable atmosphere that we want to cultivate in our homes. We build a convivial life without perfectionism or overwhelm by learning to love what must be done, organizing our attitudes, and walking in fruitful faithfulness. My goal is to see as many women as possible become engaged, competent, cheerful Christian homemakers. And one way I do that is inside my community convivial circle. We have monthly topics, and every week I pop on and give a 20-ish minute pep talk. This month's topic has been self-mastery, and a couple weeks ago I went off on a little rant about the value produced within a Christian home. I want to share that with you today to encourage you to dig into the good work that God is doing in you and through you. So, grab a basket of laundry to fold and let's jump in. All right, I need to set the stage with our topic today. So it is homemakers are owners and not employees. I think that one of the difficult things that I've seen a lot with just the women coming through Convivial Circle is our upbringing and training does not prepare us for being homemakers. And that's not in the way that you would think. Like we think, okay, because my mom didn't teach me how to do the specific skills. That is nice when it happens, but that's not what I'm talking about. I didn't take home ec in high school or college, and so I don't know how to do things. That wouldn't have done it. That was not the deal breaker, a good or bad homemaker, is whether or not you had home ec and could make an apple pie and balance a checkbook register. Those are not the things that make us effective, accomplished, satisfied, happy homemakers. The reason that we feel entirely unequipped to be competent homemakers is because the whole structure of our society is working against us. And therefore, the whole manner of our upbringing is almost antithetical to homemaking itself. It's a completely different way of operating than homemaking requires. So, homemakers have a bunch of resources that they have to make a life with, which is much broader and bigger and long-term than producing. You're not making a product where you can envision it, get a recipe, whatever, learn how to do it. There you go. You've got it. Now just keep doing that. We all have resources, but we all have different resources in differing quantities. And it is economics. Actually, the word in Greek that we get the word economics from means house rule. So it actually comes from the idea of a household. And it was the wife's vocation to run the economy. Now, the husband would be the provider and the protector, but the wife was the administrator, the manager, the behind the scenes, making all the pieces fit together. And so when we think of economics, that is actually what the home is about. And we just don't treat the home that way. We don't think about the home that way. The feminists would like to deny that homes really have anything to do with the economy except as bases of consumption. That's Keynesian economics. So we're almost 100 years in to this completely revolutionary idea of economics and how the pieces go together. And the older and the more reality based concept of economics is not the home is where things are consumed and consumption is the primary role of a household, but actually, the household is an economy. And society in the city, the nation, the whatever is just made up of these economies, these little economies. And economics, I love the definition by Thomas Sowell in Basic Economics. He says economics is making decisions about what to do with scarce resources that could be put to multiple uses. It's not even about making a profit. Like profit's involved, it's an indicator, it's a piece of the puzzle. But when you boil it all the way down, economics is not even primarily about money. Economics is about making decisions on how to use scarce resources that could be used in a variety of ways. That puts a whole new spin on it. And a part of what has gotten our society and our worldview and our manner of operating in so much trouble is that we think that our economic problems are money based entirely, and that scarcity is a problem we can solve. That's been communism and all the modern is New Dealism, all the various government programs or different ways of running economies or governments that have come post World War II, post World War I, actually, have been attempts to remove scarcity from the picture. And that's not going to happen. It's just that is a pipe dream that's not possible. It is not based in reality. And scarcity, it forces us to make difficult decisions, but they are decisions that we are equipped to make. They are human decisions. Those decisions are our responsibility. And so trying to remove scarcity from the picture as if scarcity is the problem to solve and we can eliminate scarcity from the equation means that we start getting the idea that our goal is to make things easy, to not have any more problems to solve, to get to the point where we have solved all of the problems, rather than saying, it's my job to get good at making wise decisions. We think, I need to get to the place where I don't have to make decisions anymore. That's not a good place to be, actually. So we are owners and not employees. We're not cogs in the machine, and we aren't slaves. And we also aren't primarily consumers. That's not our function. The solution to our difficult decisions that we make is never going to be to find the right plan or the right system that will make it so that our resources are no longer scarce. If it's the scarcity part of the equation that we are trying to attack, then there's a reason why we aren't really getting traction and we don't really feel like we're getting anywhere. So that's not a piece of the puzzle that we are allowed to remove. That is baked in to the way God set things up. He made us finite. He created the world. He gave us so much abundance, and yet not every single thing that we want the moment we want it. He gave us the ability to be creative within limits. And the limits actually force us to be creative, to try harder, to be more responsible, to be wise. We are supposed to be functioning within the limits of scarcity that we have been placed in. And the terms of the scarcity can change, and we're not all subject to the same levels of resources and levels of scarcity. So there can never be a cookie cutter plan, a cookie cutter system, because our situations are not interchangeable. There are principles of wisdom that then we each get to apply with personality, with engagement and awareness. And we have to bring our full selves to the picture. We aren't someone else's tool to just accomplish something. So if you think of an employee, this is the mentality that we grow up in, that the world just brings us up in. The whole system is set up to say most people, the vast majority of people, everyone is a cog in the machine, is an employee, is just a soldier in the army taking orders. Do what your teacher says, get good grades. Do the job that you're given by your employer, get a paycheck. It's a stimulus, reward, behavioralist system that there might be some room for personality in there, but really not innovation or real creativity. It's a do what you're told, get the reward. Then you come to homemaking, and there's no one telling you what to do. So even if you do the things that you are pretty sure you should be doing, there's also not that reward piece after you've done what you're told. There's not the grade, there's not the paycheck. And so this back and forth exchange that we've been conditioned in, that we've been brought up in, doesn't apply. And so it's no wonder that we flounder and we feel unequipped and like we just don't even know what we're doing. It's not just that we want to be told what to do. It's that we have this underlying hidden assumption that we don't even realize that we have, that if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, then I get something for it. Like, I get a good grade, I get a gold star, I get a paycheck. And so we keep waiting for that feedback. And sometimes we set up our own. We say, okay, if I do my chores, then my house will be clean. It'll be clean for 5 minutes. But that's not what we mean when we say my house will be clean. And so then when the house gets used again, like your reward was just stolen. The difference between an owner and an employee is not really the amount of work. It's about having a bigger purpose and seeing a bigger picture and knowing how the different pieces are driving a mission and a vision forward rather than just work, reward, work, reward. Owners of companies aren't working at that level. They have some kind of thing that they are trying to create in the world, something they're trying to accomplish that's bigger even than just manufacture as many cars as possible. Yeah, I think even the old school home ec or home economics was actually, while having the name, was actually still coming from a dehumanization of the home. Because it's like, here, running a home is just this set of skills. Like, do you know how to make an apple pie? Do you know how to balance a checkbook? That's what homemaking is. Here are your skills. Like, it's vo-tech. But homemaking is not something that vo-tech prepares you for. That's the big difference. It is not just a set of skills or abilities that once you learn them, you are going to be a successful homemaker. You're not going to be a successful homemaker unless you understand what your home is for, what you are doing in the world and what your home is producing, creating, until your home is a place where value is pushed out into the world, you're not going to be satisfied, happy homemaker, because just checking boxes, just getting the work done isn't what it's about. Those are just pieces and parts moving the mission forward. Not that you need some particular kind of mission statement or whatever and get into a whole bunch of business ease and start treating your home as if it's a corporate entity. That's not what I mean either. We aren't transforming our homes into big business where we're mass producing something or turning it into some kind of corporate America. That would be a disaster. That would be terrible. That'd be another kind of inhuman. But the owner of a business has the whole picture and knows that none of those tasks matter unless they are all driving toward the creating more value in the world. That's what a business does. A business generates value. It doesn't even have to be dollar amounts. But the world is not set up where there is a fixed amount of value. And so I have some, you have some, we can split it up evenly and just each be happy with our small bit. That's a communist view of the world. And that's not the reality of the world. The reality is that God made the world a place where value can be increased, generated. There's raw material of value everywhere, and so many more ways that humans can transform it and generate value. And the most obvious way that women generate value in the world is by increasing the number of people in it. People are intrinsically valuable. So that's why, obviously, then the work of a mother is inherently valuable. If people are valuable, the work of a mother is going to be like the most valuable thing that there is in an economy or a nation. That's pretty much just logic. That's not sentimentalism. And it's a lie of the secular world, the feminist world, that you can have people without really having dedicated mothers. Or dedicated mothers is just like this kind of side thing you do with a little piece of your life while you go do other more important work, or you have to have other things to be fulfilling. And what it's like, if you take a step back and you say, okay, what's the most valuable thing that there can be? An investment that multiplies itself is going to be more valuable of an investment than an investment that goes through one round or whatever, it sits there and maybe slowly incrementally increases or even just stays the same. Which thing do you want to invest in? I want to invest in the thing that multiplies itself. That's people. And people put their energies and their creativity into the raw material of the world and come up with computers, the internet. Like, humans have added value to the world, and that's what we're supposed to do. That's what God put us on the earth to do, to generate more and more value, all for his glory. Now, of course, that's gotten all messed up, but still, humans are made in the image of God to create, to take dominion, to do amazing things in the world. But for that to happen, there have to be people in the world. And it matters how those people are brought up. It matters immensely. Every education program that the ancients talked about had something addressing mothers and who they should be and what they should be doing, because it's actually just basic common sense. So we're not even talking about it's hard to undo our modernist honestly, communist assumptions about the world and people in it and think that, okay, so if our home is an economy, that means it needs to be making money. That means we need to be making things that then we sell or that other people want. To just immediately start turning to that creator consumer money based thing. And that's just our only picture of an economy. And that's only a tiny fraction of an economy. But you have no economy if you have no people. And the population of the world is actually on a kind of a crash course. And the more scarce something is, the more valuable it is. So, like, the fewer people choosing to have children, the fewer children they have. Like, that just automatically increases the value of the work you're doing, whether or not anyone recognizes it. It's like objectively, logically, the most valuable contribution to the world. And we take those kind of statements, if people make them, almost as a sentimental statement, like, oh, sweet mothers, what would we do without no, like, people wouldn't exist, literally wouldn't exist. We're talking about hard and fast reality here, not just a soft and sentimental appreciation of mothers. So the work done in the home, like Chesterton, one of my favorite Chesterton quotes is, the work done in the home is nothing less than the shaping of the bodies and souls of humanity. There's a mission. So there's the humanity of your own children, of your husband, anyone being affected by your home, either by coming into it or the people who are in it going out in the world and affecting people. The home is where all of that came from. And we have a non-functioning world economy at this point because we've just ripped the rug out from under our homes and thought that it wouldn't really make that big of a difference, or thought that the way that we could imagine a whole new way of having people and it'd be fine, it'd be better. We'll make a whole new way to do it without families, without homes, and it's not going so well. And so that makes the value of every one of our functioning Christian homes, even if it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, functioning is different from ideal or perfect. Every functioning Christian home doubled in value every decade for the last 100 years, just through scarcity. The amount of impact then that you can have is increased just by you being you in your home, doing your thing. When it stands out, it is a light shining on a hill. And even if people are throwing mud or demeaning it or denying it or whatever, it doesn't matter, because it's like you're operating within reality and that's going to work itself out. We're building homes, and the more functioning Christian homes there are, the less the word of God will be reviled. That's what the Bible says. So how valuable is that? What kind of a mission is that? It doesn't even take a business plan. Just some home management skills that we can grow in, and we can grow in them with more purpose, with a greater understanding, with more wisdom and prudence, discernment and personality. When we see the bigger picture, the chore routines and the whatever, those are just pieces of this functioning whole. They aren't the be all end all. So it's not like everything is hanging on whether or not your routines are working out right now. The routines are like tightening the screw. Well, we probably shouldn't go to the mechanical metaphor, should we? But if your home was the machine of your business, those are like the screws tightening things up. And if there's nothing and there are no screws, everything comes loose, that's a disaster. But maybe sometimes one is missing and the machine still is fine. And this is something, upkeep, maintenance happens. Sometimes things need to be tightened up or whatever. But sometimes then, because we just don't have an understanding of what our homes are for, or what we are for, or what we're even doing as homemakers, we think, okay, this is the one thing. I've got to have working routines, or else I'm not really a homemaker. That's disordered. The routines are a tool for the overall big picture. And sometimes, and some businesses are scrappier than others. There are times where we all have to be scrappy. And then there are times where things are the more prominent, well-to-do, smoothly run business. But no business stays in business unless it's generating value in the world, which you are doing if you are nurturing people. If you're growing them up, discipling them, disciplining them, teaching them, training them, showing them the way to go, improving them, helping them, making them more and more of who they are supposed to be, so that then they could go out and multiply themselves, and just keeps going. And there are all kinds of ways to do that beyond your own family. Since I'm in the launching phase, like some at home, some gone, there's no shortage of people who need nurturing. And if we are using our homes, whether by bringing people in again, or by this being the home base that we operate out of, if we are nurturing people, we are creating value in the world and operating a healthy, sound business. The business done in the home is nothing less than the shaping of the bodies and souls of humanity. It's not just, and somebody's got to do the dishes, so keep the moms at home to do the dishes. It's like managing the home, building up people. It might be behind the scenes work. It's not front line combat position. The combat position is there to protect the home base. But if someone's not operating the home base, there's really no reason to have an army or to go to war. There's nothing to fight for if there's no operating base. It actually is core to the broader functioning world. Not to mention, all those other things need people. When people come from somewhere, we grew them. You have a bigger mission than figuring out the best routines. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't be putting some time and practice into your routines. Of course, that's something we're doing here, but it's in service of the bigger picture. It's not the thing that we become enslaved to. It's not the master. The routines and the checklists are not the master. We are using them. We are the master, using those tools to accomplish the big picture, to create value in the world. And when we step into that bigger picture and all the pieces and parts get put in their proper place, then I think we will feel less tossed to and fro, less scattered, less pulled in a million directions by every pressure, because we're not looking for the pressure that's going to make us do what we should do and then get us the reward that we're supposed to be going for. We have that broader vision, and we can maneuver and allocate our scarce resources without feeling any guilt that they're scarce, knowing that we make decisions on how to use scarce resources that could be used multiple ways. We're going to try this right now, and then we'll evaluate and see how it goes. We can always adjust later, because these are just resources that we're playing with. Business owners create a game to play. They're playing a game. They aren't just moving through a list. They're not task driven. They see the game and they want to win it. And that's different. You see how that's a different approach to life and to the work in front of us? If there is value in the world, then it's centered in the home. So remember that This is not a sideline position. This is a center position. The business done in the home is nothing less than the shaping of the bodies and souls of humanity. If you are doing that, you have a successful business. You can find the full version of that pep talk as well as a whole library of similar weekly seminars is available inside our member exclusive podcast for Convivial Circle. Convivial Circle has courses, community, and audio replays of all lessons and seminars and course material and meetups so that whatever kind of encouragement you need, you have it available because I want to help you become an engaged, competent, cheerful Christian homemaker. I'd love to have you join me inside Convivial Circle. You can enroll today by going to convivialcircle.com. That's convivialcircle.com. And of course, the most important way that we do become competent and effective in our work is to repent, rejoice, repeat.